Sorry?
We are not on Facebook.
We are checking.
Yes, we are on
we are
Facebook
not on
now.
Facebook, yeah. Good evening, Bante and all Kalyanamita Sukhi Hontu. I'm Aliana and welcome to Sutta Discussion Day 68 by Bante Dr. Ganggo Dawila Chandima. Tonight's class is the 19th class of Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, and we are going to continue discussing the fourth noble truth with three perspectives or Ti-Ratana. Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta is the fifth sutta from the total of 10 suttas that have been chosen by Bante Chandima for this sutta discussion. For those who have missed our previous classes, please check on Ti-Ratana Padana's Clan Facebook page and YouTube channel. We have uploaded the previous 67 classes there. The Sutta discussion Zoom class is always open, therefore whoever that wishes to join the class via Zoom, where we can engage directly with Bante, can contact us on Ti-Ratana Vihara Padana Clan's Facebook Messenger. We are always welcoming newcomers. Our speaker, Bante Dr. Ganggo Dawila Chandima, is the Associate Editor of the Journal of International Buddhist Studies, or JIBS, which is published by the Buddhist Research Institute of Mahachulalongkorn Raja Vidyalaya University in Thailand. He was previously a research fellow at the Center for Studies in Religion and Society, or CSRS, University of Victoria, Canada. Bante Dr. Chandima was also a Theravada Buddhist chaplain at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, Canada, from year 2012 till 2016. Bante is currently the senior advisor to Sutta, a virtual Dhamma organization that hosts a weekly online Pali reading class, Sutta discussions, Dhamma talks, and a variety of other Dhamma activities. His Dhamma works can be accessed at the http://patisotta.blogspot.com. Without further ado, we welcome once again Bante, and thank you very much for the wonderful talk. Sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Aliana. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Sutta Discussion Day 68, in which we will be finishing the Ti-Ratana and Dwadasakara aspect of the Four Noble Truths today. Today we have Aliana, Lim, and we have Sherry. Sherry, you're here after some time. Kim, Kelvin, I met him today afternoon too, on the way. Tisalim. Tisalim, where are you from actually in Malaysia? Which part of Malaysia are you from?
JB Bante, Johor Bahru.
Oh, Johor Bahru, okay.
Next to Singapore.
Yes, yes. And then I Cheng. Brother Wu, I met you last Sunday at BGF.
Yes, Bante.
Jacqueline Lim, Sauk, and Hema. All right. So, yeah, Sherry is from Singapore too, I guess. All right. So, today, let's take a look at our slide about Dhammacakkappavattana. But before that, let's pay respect. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu.
Namo tasse bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhase. Namo tasse bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhase. Namo tasse bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhase. Brother Lee, in case, can you make me the co-host too? Yeah, good. Right, today is 68, day 68 for the Sutta discussion. And it's going to be 90 to 117 sections of the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. So we're going to go from here. Okay, 90. Hello, Sok, how are you?
Good, yeah.
Good. So see you too. All right, so 90. This is where the Fourth Noble Truth is getting started about the Ti-Ratana. So, as you can see that today we will be covering almost from 90 to 117. It's a lot of sections, but I think that most of the sections are the same, kind of repetitive about the previous Noble Truths. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to read just to make some time, because today is the final day for this particular topic. And then from somewhere, I think from 102, I will be letting participants to read. That part is new actually. 102 to 117 part. Yeah, that will be the end of the Ti-Ratana part. All right. 90. Idang dukkha nirodha gamini patipada ariya sacchanti. Me bhikkhave pubbe ananussute dhammesu. Chakkhum udapadi, jnanang udapadi, panya udapadi, vijja udapadi, aluko udapadi. Tankho pana. Now I said we had to combine both. Tankho panidang dukkha nirodha gamini patipada ariya saccang bhave tabbat. This part has to be developed, right? Because we know that the first noble truth has to be understood. The second noble truth, whatever the things inside, have to be abandoned. The third noble truth have to be realized, and here the fourth noble truth have to be developed. Me bhikkhave pubbe ananusutesu dhammesu chakkhum udapadi jnanam udapadi panya udapadi vijja udapadi aluku udapadi. Tankho panidang dukkha nirodha gamini patipada ariya sacchan bhavitanti. That means the past participle. Now Buddha says that now I knew that I would have to develop, then I had developed. That means the past participle. Now he explains how he understood and then how he did it, right? Both sides. How he understood the first noble truth and how he did for the noble truth. How he understood about the second noble truth, how he did the function of the second noble truth. How he understood about the third noble truth and how he did the function of the particular thing that he had to do. Here for the fourth noble truth, how he understood the function of the noble truth, how he did it. Bhavitanti means he developed. Then me bhikkhave pubbe ananusutesu dhammesu chakkhum udapadi jnanam udapadi panya udapadi vijja udapadi aluku udapadi. Just to get things going, I would translate a small section of today's focus, just to remind you what we did. Not everything, because it's very repetitive. All right. This is the noble truth of the way leading to the cessation of dukkha. Idang dukkha nirodha gamini patipada ariya sacchanti. So the Buddha says that he talks to the final five ascetics that in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me chakku, jnana, panya, vijja, aluku. Let me ask you questions now, because you already studied them before many times. What does chakku mean here? Chakku?
I.
What eye is that?
Dhamma I.
Dhamma eye, right? This is called Dhamma eye. Say Dhamma eye. Dhamma I. Dhamma I. But not the whole thing. Yeah? So Dhamma I, that means Chakkupa. But when you see Chakku, you don't see it very much. You might think this is the I, but it is the Dhamma I. Then Jnanam Udapadi. Jnana means,
Knowledge.
well, knowledge. But generally speaking, Jnana here means
The supernormal knowledge.
super.
Is it the Dhamma, Bante?
Huh?
Is it the Dhamma?
Dhamma knowledge. I think I already shared with you how we have to consider this part. Jnana. Jnana here means Yatha Bhuta Jnana Dassana. Right? Yatha Bhuta Jnana Dassana. That means the knowledge of seeing things as they are. That jnana. Just because you have jnana, it does not mostly connect to your heart. Now, what is happening to many people in the world, those who learn Dhamma, they feel everything only here. Everything is in the mind, maybe the brain. And then that knowledge and the heart doesn't have a connection. So they know a lot of things, but still they are not good. They are not good human beings. Why is it? Whatever they learn is not in the heart. So mind and heart has a huge gap at that point. So what? Maybe you know something little, but you are practicing it. That means your heart will be the focal point of your practice. So jnana here means that you are able to do what is required through your knowledge. Yatha bhuta jnana, seeing things as they are. Then panya udapad, wisdom, perfect wisdom. Whenever you attain Nibbana. Vijja udapadi. Now, when someone attains Nibbana, we call it the true knowledge. Right? It is the true knowledge. That means we call it Vijja means science. Normally we translate it to be, but here the true knowledge. And then Aluko means the light. That means the perfect extinction of the darkness. I would say from ignorance. So now the section tells us the same, what you call, aspect of how the Buddha saw all these noble truths in their entirety. Now we have to open the Ti-Ratana, right? All right. Okay, so yeah, so as you can see, now he understood that I have to develop under the Four Noble Truth, under the Fourth Noble Truth. What should he develop at this point? What he had developed at this point? The Fourth Noble Truth is about developing what he developed. Now the Ti-Ratana aspect of the Fourth Noble Truth is to develop. And he said he developed Bhaveta Banti, then Bhavitanti. What he developed under the Fourth Noble Truth. Yeah, what is it?
Noble,
Eight Noble Path.
noble path.
A noble eightfold path. He
Yeah,
already
noble
developed it.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy, right? And then, yeah, so he claims that he has come to the fruition of the Ti-Ratana and Dwadasakara. Now let's go back here. So he has, at this point, clearly mentioned about the Ti-Ratana. So he knew that there is a knowledge of each truth, each noble truth, and he knew that there was a certain role, function that he had to fulfill under the Kichanyana of each one of noble truth. And then under the Katanyana, he made sure that he perfectly fulfill the particular function of that noble truth. So then 3 multiplied by 4, you get 12. We call it Dwadasakara, 12 aspects. And these 3 of each noble truth is called Ti-Parivatta. All right. So that means he clearly says, I did not generally understand the Four Noble Truths. I understood the Four Noble Truths under the 3 perspectives, Ti-Parivatta and 12 aspects. And then he makes sure what happened after that. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? All right. Then
Bante, just
yes.
excuse me. I just now you're saying about the Jnanam Udapadi, the knowledge, and the Vijja Udapadi. The difference is the first one, is it just a normal general knowledge, is it? Whereas
No,
the other one is
it's-
really the true knowledge. That's the difference. What's the difference?
Well, Jnana and Vijja, they carry 2 aspects of the knowledge. Now,
Yeah.
Jnana, we normally say Jnana means that, call it, there's a particular word we see at the end of this discussion, Jnana Dasan. Jnana Dasan, you will see it here. Yeah, see, Yatha Bhutam Jnana Dasana. Knowledge, true knowledge, and vision. Even though the translation seems to be similar, but the jnana here simply means that the Buddha was able to have this, what you call yathabhuta jnana, seeing things as they are perspective. That is what we understand by jnana. But vijja is I would say, is a composite word about his full knowledge that he reached after. Right? So I would say 2 aspects of what he understood. Now, this could be the function of that knowledge, but this is the provision of the knowledge. Jnana is the function. That means what he had to do.
Okay.
Seeing things
Functional.
as they are is the function of that vijja, true knowledge. So vijja is the composite name for that whole understand, whole knowledge. So these 2 carry different meanings.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Bante.
All right. Now you can see here, after 101, Yavat, okay, let me recite for you, then I'm going to ask others to read. Yava Kivan me bhikkhave imesu chatusu arya sakchesu. Evan Ti-Parivattana Dwadasakara. Now, did anybody see the word Ti-Parivatta and Dwadasakara appear above than here? No. The word Ti-Parivatta, the words Ti-Parivatta and Dwadasakara only appear at this point. That means after the Buddha talks about the 4 functions, and then I would say, how he fulfilled those 4 functions, only he talks about that these are Ti-Parivatta and Dwadasakara. Right? Evam Ti-Parivatta Dwadasakara. Yatha Bhutan Jnana Dasana na Suvisuddhang Ahosi. Neva Tavahang Bhikkhave Sadevake Loke Samarake Sabbrahmake Sassamana Brahmaniya Pachaya Sadeva Manusaya. Now this is about the importance of that Yatha Bhuta Jnana Dasana. Now see, the most important part out of the 4 Noble Truths, including the Noble Eightfold Path here, is Yatha Bhuta Jnana Dasana. Right? Because what it required was the Yatha Bhuta Jnana Dasana as to the 4 Noble Truths. Now, we all know what they are, right? We all know what the first Noble Truth is, what the second Noble Truth is, what the third Noble Truth is, what the 4th Noble Truth is, literally. Maybe a little bit contextually. But do we know those 4 Noble Truths in the lens of, or in the context of the Yatha Bhuta Jnana Dasana? Now, The Buddha tried to convince the 5 ascetics that I purify myself about the Four Noble Truths with regard to the true knowledge and vision. Anuttarang samma sambuddhi abhisambuddhu paccanyase yatocha ko me bhikkhave imesu chatusu arya satchesu. Evam, once again, Ti-Ratana dwadasakaram yatha bhuta jnana dasanam suvisuddham ahus. Athahang bhikkhave sadevake loke, once again, repetitive, samarake sabrahmake sassamanak brahmaniya pachaya sadeva manusaya anuttaram samma sambuddhi abhisambuddhu paccanya means I declare, I claim. So earlier he did not claim. He wanted to tell Panchavagya Bhikkhu that, I never done that before. I never claimed like this. So now today I claim. So it's not a lie. Jnanancha paname dasanam udapadi. Akuppa me cheto vimutti. Ayang antima jati. Ayam antima jati. Ayang antima jati. Natti dani punabhavut. All right. Now let's ask somebody to read from 102. Okay, so that person can read from 102 to 105.
I try Bante.
Please.
Yava kivang cha me bhikkhave imesu chatusu arya satchesu. Ewang Ti-Ratana Twada sakarang yatang butang yana dasanang na suvisudang ahusi. Neva tawahang bhikkhave sa devake loke samarake sabramake
Okay, good.
sasamana brahmadi.
We will ask somebody else to read after that.
Okay.
All right, can you read this part, brother?
Which part?
This part.
Yata butang.
Yatha bhutang.
Yata butang yana
Okay. Did you say yana dasana?
yana dasanang.
It's not yan. It's jnana dasana.
Jnana
Jnana dasana. Na suvisuddham ahosi.
Suvisudang ahosi.
Okay, great. All right. Anybody else? Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah. Kim, please go ahead.
Is it same line?
Yes, please.
Yava kivanche me bekavi e mesu chatosu ariyasachesu. Evam Ti-Ratana dwadasakaram. Yathabhutam jnana dasanam na suvesudam ahusi. Neva tavaham bhikkhave sadeve loka samarake sabramake.
Neva tavaham bhikkhave sadevake loke samarake sabrahmake. You try this one?
Nyava tavaham bhikkhave
Not tavaham.
tavaham bhikkhave sadevake loke samarake sabramake.
Okay, all right. Now, before we let other people read, I'm going to explain so we can, save time over here. Yava kivancha me bhikkhave imesu chatusu aryas. What is Yava kivancha? So long. That means the Buddha is trying to tell us tell the Panchavagya Bhikkhu, 5 ascetics, that so long, that means he was not able to say this thing, I would say about the Ti-Ratana and Dvadasakara in regard to the Four Noble Truths. Right? Yava Kivam means so long. Bhikkhave monks. Now the word Bhikkhave, was it an innovation of the Shakyamuni Buddha? Was it like something like an earlier reference to the ascetics? Bhikkhu, Bhikkhave, was it an earlier word that was used to refer to Indian ascetics, or it was only used for the monks, the Buddha's time, especially the Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni? Because
reference to the ascetic, because the Sangha was not formed at that time.
others?
The ascetics, they call it samana, right?
Yeah, samana is a word that was used for even the Buddhist monks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that means it's a common word that was used for everybody. I mean, bhikkhu, this word, do you think that it was an innovative word only for the Shakyamuni Buddhist monks, or was it available, existed even before the Shakyamuni Buddhist time? That means,
Or the general ascetics.
it's a general word, right? Bhikkhu. Now the word comes from a couple aspects. One is food, bhikkha. Bhikkha is the food, actually. So that means at that time, all these ascetics, monks, they depended upon the food given by the people on the road, or maybe from houses. No monk ate in the temple, right? So the practice that people brought dana to the temple was very late, even during the time of the Shakyamuni Buddha, because each one was working on each one's own liberation.
Yeah.
Right? Like some devotees do today. I only want to attain Sotapan. I don't want to look at you. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to talk to you, right? You have to be very careful. Sometimes you need to be selfless. I mean, not sometimes. You have to balance out. The Buddha always says that when you practice Dhamma, you have a fallacy. You have you may have a problem that can arise from the practice itself. It can come from practice itself, not from outside. Now you are always thinking, okay, I gotta get rid of Sakkaya Ditti, Vicikiccha, Silapata Paramasa, Kamaraga, Patika, Ruparaga, Aruparaga, Mana, Uddhacha, Avicca, 10 fetters that cover you in what you call deconstructing the samsara and the nibbana, you have to reconstruct the fetters and then to be, free from the fetters. But this process is something that we have to carefully, embark upon, because we are going to work on ourselves in a way. So we have to balance out our self-centered practice at the same time, while I would say balancing out the altruistic aspects, right? Why do we say altruistic aspects? Why thinking about others? Why the company of the others is also very important for our Dhamma journey? Is the practice of Nibbana something that you do in your house, in your room only, just closing the door and then now I'm going to practice meditation, I'm going to attain Nibbana? Is this kind of a practice of what we know about Dhamma journey? No. Then why do we need Kalyana Mittas? Why did the Buddha say that whole Dhamma journey consists of Kalyana Mittas? Self-motivation is not enough. Right? This is where we study Jnana Dasana. Jnana means knowledge. Dasana is seeing. Janato passato.
Oh.
Now, for instance, I would say some people know this is bad. Lying is bad. Knowledge. But they don't see it in the action of lying. Right? Janato, but no passato. Let's say some people know that I would say gossiping is bad, wasting time, and then you get into non-virtuous conversations, and then you might talk about what other people do all the time, look at that person, he went there and I saw him and all that, unnecessary non-virtuous conversation. You know it, but you don't see within the action, this is bad. So Buddha understand jnana dasana means, although you have the knowledge, but you don't have the dasana part. Right? You are not janato passato. The word, this hybrid term come from Sabbasava Sutta. I guess this is the second sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya. The Buddha says, janato va passato va asavana kayam vada. Monks, I tell you, the eradication of the defilements, true janato, by knowing and by seeing. I know it, at the same time, I'm able to see it. So I'm telling you, when you want to get rid of the akusalas, when you want to get rid of the fetters or whatever 5 hindrances, you have to do the both actions. Once, maybe there may be ignorant people, you may be not one of them. You may be somebody who is known to the akusalas. But at the time of the akusalas arising, you should be able to see it in that practice. That is very. So the point that I was trying to say is that bhikkhu, the word bhikkhu was not only an originally made term for the monks, Buddhist monks. It was used for the others too at that time of India, Shramana tradition.
So
What
we
was
mean
the other
Bhante,
tradition? Yeah, brother.
we mean the theoretical and the practical aspect of the practice.
We can take it that way also, but here, let's say, yeah, that's true, because let's say you know that this is not good. Maybe let's take the good side, practicing metta is good. Nobody is going to disagree with me, right? Because we have to practice metta, right? Whatever happened, no matter what, enemy, or now tomorrow is the election, right? Maybe there are people who you don't like, so that you don't like this person, right? But you know that you can't go with those dislikes when it comes to metta. You know it. But in the actual practice, at the time of you getting to see the person you don't like, are you able to overcome that issue, and can you get back to your practice? So, passato part. Janato part, you know that this you have to do it. So this is from the positive point of view, right? So it's very important. I think that's where a lot of people get stuck. They know this is good and bad, but they are not able to do it at the time. It's a spiritual failure that they are experiencing. That's why I say
why is that, Bhante? Why does a person can see it, and but yet cannot do it? He knows it, he sees it, but he cannot do it.
yes,
Why
can do
is
it.
like that?
They can do it, but there are things that hold them back in not doing that. Why is it? What are holding them back? What are friendly at this point? One thing is that they are filling their mind with Dhamma, but that mind is not connected to the heart. Because whatever we do in a good way, let's say you love somebody, you taking it to the heart. Your karuna, all that goes to heart, right? Because heart is where the real practice arises from. Mind just coordinates. A lot of people, if you know a lot of people, 10 out of 9, 8, 7, they know a lot of Dhamma, but you don't seem that they are any better people in society. Your circles, they don't look like some others like better than many others. They look like the same, just the knowledge, excess knowledge, because they are not bringing that Dhamma knowledge to their heart, real practice. This is a big issue among many. people. So we have to look at it, why it's not happening, why Janato is only existing, why no Passato. So one reason is that maybe their virya is not enough. Second is that they are not very much focused on their practice rather than their knowledge. Sometimes they have some sansaric problems because of some of the sansaric issues, right? It can happen, right? Now, let's think about Bhante Ananda, right? How much Dhamma was he able to know from the Buddha, but that Dhamma did not help him, right? Until he passed away. What about us? Right? So the practice is nothing like a big thing. Practice is that you should be able to put that knowledge into the real-time scenario. That is practice. That may be easy for somebody. That may be really difficult for somebody, right? Okay, to me, it's like teaching in a Dhamma school. You know, like a lot of people teach in Dhamma school. A lot of Dhamma schools teach about the life of the Buddha, Prince Siddhartha, the 7 steps. The lotuses came out, and then it talks about metta, karuna, mudita, upekka. What if somebody, a teacher is saying, no, let's summarize about the history a little bit, and let's do some activities. One activity is about jealousy. One activity is about anger. What would really be helpful for students? Is it activity or the knowledge? Just simple knowledge. That activity will help them. The storytelling, some humor, then activity. Yeah, today we in the temple we experience really what is anger like, right? Recently, somebody told me they were talking about wars, conflicts in the world. Now there are a lot of wars happening in parts of the world, right? I asked a teacher about, you know, what could be a good advice for these wars? What could the both parties practice? The teacher had told right away, they all have to be Buddhists in order to solve these issues. The student was, huh, really? How come are they going to be Buddhist? They are majority Christian countries, maybe other XYZ religious countries. So they were like left out from the dialogue. You know, these people are not talking really the truth. They are not really connecting to the reality. They are only looking at a book and then just selling what is in the book. Prince Siddhartha was there, he was born and all that, you know. So we had to go beyond that. That means theory and the practice. They have a huge difference. That's why I think even young people, they are distancing from the temples, you know, because their questions are not being answered. So the same way, theory and practice. This will come from adults too one day. So we have to really focus on how to put even the small knowledge of Dhamma work in the practical scenario. Also, bhikkhu is a word that was used by many before the Buddha's time. And here, now, the Buddha says he included Ti-Ratana and Dwadasakara in regard to the Four Noble Truths. Then, Yatha bhutang jnana dasanang na suvisuddhang nahosi. True knowledge and vision of these Four Noble Truths as they really are was not thoroughly purified. That means there should be a purification in regard to the Yatha Bhuta Jnana Darsana. Dhamma books, does anybody remember the purification teaching in the Buddhist canon? Can you remember? There are 7 types of purifications given by the
Visuddhimagga.
Not Visuddhimagga. Visuddhimagga took it from a sutta.
Oh, okay.
So let's go to the sutta.
Okay.
We should not go to Visuddhimagga actually, because Visuddhimagga is a book written by an Indian scholarly monk, very late compared to the Buddha's time. So let's learn from the early canon. Do not pick up these later books. Some people learn meditation, everything from the Visuddhimagga, Kasina and everything. Later somebody asked, what is Kasina? You don't see Kasina in early texts, right? So the book is called Majjhima Nikaya, Ratha Vinita Sutta. In this sutta, Buddha, not the Buddha actually, Arahant Sariputta asked from the Punnamantani about the 7 purifications. Let me sort of maybe write down. We have, remember? Okay, let's go here. We have more space. Maybe here. Right.
This one in Majjhima Nikaya, what number? Dante?
Yeah, I will give you. Don't worry. First, listen to me.
Okay. All right.
All right. The
Just now
first
you
one.
mentioned, Bante,
Sila. Yes, Kim.
just now you mentioned what Janato and something to. What is that?
Something.
Janato.
Janato. Okay. I will explain to you that after. Okay. Janato Pasato. I have to explain. Yeah, don't worry. Sila Visuddhi. Then second is Chitta Visuddhi. Third, Ditti Visuddhi. Fourth is Sankha Vitarana Visuddhi. Fifth is Magga Dassana Visuddhi. But Magga Jnana Dassana Visuddhi. Then six is Patipada Jnana Dassana Visuddhi. Seventh is Jnana Dassana Visuddhi. All right. This is very interesting, because this summarizes the purification aspect of the Buddhism in detail. This is the highest way of looking at the purification. Now let's see what they are. Actually, let me tell you the sutta's name too. Ratha Vinita Sutta, I think it's going to be, yeah, Majjhima Nikaya 24. Let me write that here. Sorry about that. Ratha Vinita Sutta. Majjhima Nikaya 24. All right. So now Arahant Sariputta asks a very interesting question. Seventh question. Bante, is the holy life, that means, what is the holy life? This Dhamma journey of monks, nuns, and lay people. Is it for the sake of gaining the purification of Sila? In other words, now we know that we have Sila, right? We have 5 precepts. Monks, nuns have their own precept. So, is it because of the purification of the Sila that everybody, monks, lay people, they have to do everything in their journey? And Punnamantaniputta, Arhan Punnamantaniputta said, no, it is not for the purification of the Sila only that we do this practice. And then the second one, Arhan Sariputta asked, is it because of the purification of the mind that we have to practice the Dhamma? He said, no. Is it because of the purification of our views, our bad views, that we need to practice Dhamma? He said, no. Is it for the dispelling the fourth one, dispelling the doubts about us in regard to the past, present, future, that we have to do our Dhamma journey? He said, no. Fifth one. Is it because of knowing the proper path, right path, or wrong path in regard to the true knowledge and the vision that we need to purify ourselves? He said, no. Is it because of the, the path, now you know the path, that we need to do the purification in regard to the true knowledge and vision? He said, no. Is it because of the true knowledge and vision, which you see here, Jnana Dassana? Is it because of the purification of the true knowledge? That means Janato Passato. Now this part is Janato. This part is Passato. Okay, knowing and seeing. Then he said, no. Now you are very confused too, right? Now Arhan Pundamantanitya said, it is not for the purification of any of these seven. Then he said, we are purifying all these things simply to attain Nibbana, not for the purification of Sila only, not for the purification of the mind only, not for the purification of our Ditti only, not for the purification of our doubts about past, present, future only, not for the purification only about the knowing the right path from the wrong path only, not only for the purification of the path only, not only for the purification of knowing the Janato Pasato, true knowledge and vision. Then he said, it is only for the purification that is regarding the Nibbana. That means even the purification of the mind, that means meditation. That is where we purify our mind. Now, if you can see here, interestingly, what is this part, Dhamma folks? Tell me. Chitta Visuddhi. Now, there you practice meditation, samatha meditation, right? That means you cannot purify your ditti until you have a, what do you call? A purified mind. That means until you attain a certain level of your meditation, you are not easily available to purify your views. Because you cannot think about your views until you come to the, until you feels the Chitta Visuddhi, purification of your the mind. All right. So I hear my voice back again. So please mute your microphones, folks. All right. So here, what the Buddha says is that until I understood the Four Noble Truths in regard to the Ti-Parivatta and Dvadasakara, the purification, I would say, the purification of the Yatha Bhuta Jnana Dasana. What does it mean? This one, this last one, this Yatha Bhuta Jnana Dasana did not come into fruition in my path. That means Yatha Bhuta Jnana Dasana is the highest purification. That means seeing things as they are. Now I'm going to the Kim's question. Kim said, Bhante, what is Janato Passato? Okay. Janato Passato means, right, let me write that for you. All right. So Janato Passato means Jana. Okay, so Janato Passato. Okay. These are two words that we have to include in our practice of cultivating kusala thoughts. So we have to do the both. For many of us, we know, let's say, we know akusala. What are the akusalas, Dhamma folks? These are homework, huh? How many akusalas are there? 10 akusalas. Can somebody tell me what they are? What are they? How many akusalas? The first question was, and then you said 10 akusalas. Now tell me, what are those akusalas? How do they arise?
Divide to 3, Bhante, for the body.
They are classified into 3 sections.
3, yeah.
What are 3 sections mean? 3 places where you create akusala. 3 places. Your akusalas come from 3 places of your life. That means
The
from
body, the
your
mouth,
body,
and the mind.
from your speech, from your
mind.
Which comes first?
Mind.
The mind first.
So first come, first serve basis. So whichever that comes first, you're gonna take care of that first thing. Mind comes first. Then which comes second?
Speech.
Speech comes the second. Why is it so? Why do we say with speech comes the second? Kelvin is showing that like this. I'm asking, what is the connection of the first and second? Why do we not say why the body is not second? Why is the speech is the second? Why we have to concern about the speech as a second?
You think and then you speak.
So why can we bypass the speech and can't we do the actions?
You cannot.
Can we bypass the speech part and they directly go to the actions?
Can.
You can.
Can.
At that point, are you not creating anything regarding the speech?
You didn't say anything. You act first.
Is it possible? Are the bodily actions working without the speech part? Yes, how many people do bad things without talking? But can they be mental chatters? Mental chatters? Can they be? They are talking to themselves.
Yeah.
Like in the dramas, Shakespeare drama, Solitaire, they are talking to themselves. They are mental chatters. So normally it is said that your whatever the kusala or akusala arise from your mind. That is for sure, right? We have no argument.
Yeah.
But then you form vitakka vichara. What are they? Vitakka vicharas are the basis of your speech, whatever good or bad. Then you are bringing vitakka vicharas into actions. That means a better way to say is that your akusalas or kusalas primarily start from the mind and then they go to what you call speech, and then whether other people can notice it or not, then it will pass down to the bodily actions. So nobody told me what they are now. This, all of you said 10. Now tell me what kusalas or akusalas you make it from your mind. Everybody's like, what am I to say at this point? What are the kusalas or akusalas? Let's talk about from the negative part, because it shows the boundary actually. What are the akusalas you make from your mind?
Ill will,
Wrong view,
ill will.
ill will, and greedy, especially greedy.
Tanha.
I'm hearing a lot of things.
Wrong
confuse.
intention.
Do not confuse. Yes.
Abhijja, Vyapada, Micca, Ditti.
That's a proper way of saying it. Abhijja, Vyapada, Micca, Ditti. Right? Okay. So that means Abhijja means covetousness. It's not just a greed actually. It's an extreme greed, strong greed. Now we have to accept that we have greed at certain times. Let's say for hard-earned money, for the people you've been loving so much for long term. What else that you can be greedy about? If you're honest about it, what are the other sections you can be greedy about? Very sentimental stuff in your life. What else?
Love.
Yeah, I said about it. So that means your loved ones, about your loved ones. What else? Other than the people, money, things you earn in hard ways. What else?
Positions.
Positions. How about merits? Merits. Do people have greed about the merits? Huh? Yes. They have abhijja about the merits. Oh, I want to do all these good karmas. I'm gonna be reborn in heaven. Nobody should do better than me. So abhijja. You only look at the wrong version only, yeah? Yeah? Abhijja. Then vyapada. Vyapada means higher version of your anger. As Kim said, vyapada means ill will. Ill will. Of destroying other beings. How many people are doing that every day? Huh? If you look at the society, even internet, how many people are trying to destroy other people's reputation, their life, their relationship, their knowledge, right? It's a I would say it's a boiling emotion that many people are having. They can't get rid of it, right?
Politicians.
Yeah, politics definitely. I mean, let's talk about our personal life. Politicians do it for a purpose. They know what they are doing. But for us, in our personal life, regardless of how much Dhamma do we know, if we are still carrying thoughts of destroying other people, verbally, mentally, physically, how many people are not able to stop that bad thing? What about the last one? Last one is Michhaditti. Michhaditti means
Wrong view.
wrong
Wrong.
view. Yeah, wrong view. How do we understand wrong view here? Michhaditti. This is the highest, I would say the worst akusala. Why is it? Every time, let's say Janato, let's bring Janato Passato here. Now you know this is bad. Right? Many people know that killing is bad, stealing is bad, lying is bad, hurting other people is bad, then ill will is bad. But they still create rationalizations. Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's okay, don't worry, we'll do that. They create rationalization. So how can someone create rationalizations about an akusala? That is because Michhaditti. The Abhidhamma, if you look at Abhidhamma, if you know Abhidhamma says that there are two types of there are two types of akusalas in terms of the results. There is one person who, I would say, involves in the bad things, akusalas, without creating rationalizations. He or she doesn't have lots of thinking. No, okay, but there's somebody who thinks, no, it's okay, I'm gonna lie, I don't care. That is a rationalization. He or she creates lots of massive bad karma because you create rationalizations for the bad things. Think for yourself. Was there a moment that you thought that whatever the spiritual things, whatever the Buddha things you know, but you still don't want to accept them, and you were driven by your whatever your bad self, that negative self, that Michhaditti self, you made a lot of mistakes at that point. That means where you went to rationalization for the akusala. All right. And then about the speech. Speech, how many akusalas you might make? 4. Why speech has 4? Mind has only 3. Why is it? What is the reason behind that? Mind has 3, body has 3, speech has 4. Why is it? That means people make more akusalas with their speech. That's the argument. Isn't it true?
Yeah.
Killing, stealing, misbehaving, they can happen, but not to the extent where somebody is doing lying, gossiping, hurting. How many people are being hurt every day on a daily basis, even in your household? You say something that person understood differently. Yeah? That person was hurt. Maybe you may not have intention. Gossiping, oh, for some people, if they don't have gossip, they feel like isolated. They want to gossip. Okay? Now, because communication is very free now, they do it more and more, Not
Viral.
like the olden days. Everything is free nowadays, calling somebody because of internet.
Gossiping is not so harmful to others, is it?
On the surface level, you could think so, but it can be harmful because the more you gossip, the more lies you will be making to them because you don't have lots of good information at that point. Because if, let's say, you just involve in a short discussion, is okay, conversation. But if you happen to talk a lot, Because when you keep talking to somebody for many, many hours, then you are losing the facts. Then you are adding things about the conversation. That means lies will come back again.
But
I
if
normally
you're
say,
making jokes and enjoying and laughter, it's okay, isn't it, Bante?
unless you survive only for 10 minutes.
Because
Only-
Bante, when I retire, so I asked around, what am I going to do when you are tired, not to go to work? And everyone say you go and sit in the coffee shop and talk nonsense and pass the time and enjoy yourself. So they said it's very good, Bante. Another thing I read in the latest in the thing, they said for a long and healthy life, the most important factor is socializing, Bante. So you have to
Yeah.
go and meet a friend and talk and joke and then laugh and enjoy yourself. That's
But
the
that-
first, I think.
That has, Brother Wu, that I agree. I agree. That is really true. You know, we have to have a pro-social life, definitely. That is why we need Kalyana Mitras. But I have to warn you, because that conversation has to happen in a certain good way. Definitely because you have nothing to do at home in the morning, right? Everybody goes to work.
Yeah.
If you are a senior, so you get in touch with your co-workers, probably your friends, and have a chat. But what if that some of them are trying to talk about immoral stuff, unwholesome stuff? You can't
Hey,
stop
no.
them, right? So if everybody is talking something meaningful, something good about everybody, maybe some good
It's
stuff
okay.
about life, yeah, why not? You involve in that conversation for maybe hours and hours. That's okay. I'm
It's
not
okay.
talking about the amount of time. I'm talking about the contents of the conversation.
Oh,
Content.
yes.
So,
Not talk for brother.
Yeah.
so let's continue
Sorry,
going to the coffee shop.
Hey, it's a Chinese version of saying talk 3, talk 4 means you talk rubbish.
See, there you go.
Mostly is a rubbish, not the productive time, just to talk and laugh and enjoy jokes and all that.
Well, what I can say finally is that we cannot monitor everybody's contents 100%, but just to have an idea that whatever the conversations you make it in a meaningful, productive way, not just getting into very non-virtuous conversations and wasting time, but do not get confused with pro-sociality and this kind of a very interesting topic. Right? Pro-sociality is, I really agree, because people need it. Anyways, so speech. People make a lot of obsolete for the speech. What are
Bante,
those
one question,
obsolete?
Bante. The Buddha also advised us to seek solitude. So solitude, how do you strike a balance between solitude and what Bante mentioned about social life?
Good. The Buddha said, let me remember that thing. Sannipatitanang wo bhikkhave dvyankaraniya.
Okay.
When you are gathered each other monks, you should do two things. Dhammiva kata ariyova tunhiba. Either you should engage in a noble conversation, or if you cannot, because there are some disruptive monks too, right? Not everybody likes Dhamma too. Then you have to follow the noble silence. But this was given to the monks, bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, not for the lay people. Because whenever you get together, you can't talk Dhamma everywhere, even a coffee shop, restaurant, parties, you can't do that.
Yeah.
But you try your best to have a meaningful conversation, productive, fruitful conversation. Because let's say in your group, there is somebody who is little mischievous, little naughty, little, I would say, playful person. That person might start a conversation in the wrong way, right? You can't say, hey, stop this conversation. You can't do that because you have to maintain your courtesy, right? So, but you're trying to make it, or maybe you know what to do, maybe to spend less amount of time over there.
Yeah.
So that is only for the bhikkhus and bhikkhunis. But as lay people, you could also do at times. That's no problem. Yes.
How about monks seeking solitude in the forest to practice?
That is an option. It is not a mandatory requirement, because when the monk Devadatta asked from the Buddha, Bhante, give us permission for 5 things. Remember those 5? Every monk should go to the forest and practice meditation. You know, if they want to go, let them go.
Okay.
If they don't want to go, let them stay wherever they want to stay. The most important thing is not changing the environment, changing your mind.
Yeah.
Some people can change their mind living even in a very busy
Yes.
neighborhood because they know how to maintain their mind. And he said, Bhante, ask every monk to go for Pindapata. I said, no need. Maybe some who want to go for Pindapata, go for Pindapata. Others, they can stay wherever their devotees are living by. He was such a very compassionate being. But Monk Devadatta wanted to, I would say, propose very extreme sila. And what about the eating of meat and fish? Same thing. Anyways, I think we are talking a little bit off from the topic now. So I would say speech, 4 things. Not lying, not slandering, talking behind the back, and not hurting, not gossiping. To me, all these 4 are part of lying. Why is it? When you talking behind the back, what would you say? Is it true or untrue? Let's say you talk to 2 people, 2 different things. Is it lying or is it the truth that you are passing to 2 people? That means Pisuna Vacha also sort of lying, Musavata. Third one, you hurt other people. You hurt other folks. The words that you use to hurt other people, swear words, are they really truthful? The names, name calling, bad words, are they really truthful words? Are they really connecting to what they did? I don't think so. They are imaginary words, bad words. That means Musavad. Going back to Sampappalapa. When people talk about Sampappalapa, there is a high chance of that they fall into Musam at a certain point of the conversation. Because you can't survive in a conversation for more than 20-30 minutes unless you brag about yourself, unless you go to your self-praise, unless you talk about your stuff in an exaggerative way. That means all lying. That means Musavada is the contents for all the other bad speech elements. But you have to understand them differently. Then the body, not killing, not stealing, not misbehaving. Now let's go back to the Janato possible. Now, Kim, here, as you asked me, do we all know these 10 to some extent? Yes, we all know these 10 to some extent. That means we have a certain level of Janato. What about Passato? At the time of the possibility of making a mistake out of these 10, are we really able to see what it is at that point? Let's say now somebody is going to hurt someone else for whatever the reason as a reaction. What do you think? Is that person really able to see that this is a problem? I know it. I learn it from the Dhamma school. I learn it from the Bhante's talk. I learn it from a book. Are they really able to connect to that knowledge, that particular event? Can they? Not many people can do that. Janato means the knowledge of the Dhamma thing. Passato means being able to put that knowledge into a real-time scenario. Make sense?
Yeah.
Is it an important thing in our life?
Yes,
Very important. This is where people lose their practice. All right, now
We can also say it's application of the knowledge, right?
application of the knowledge.
Yeah.
That
In
is
real
what
life.
that is what a lot of people
Yeah.
are unable to do. All the Dhamma stuck here, only this part. From neck above.
Cannot reach here.
Cannot go to the heart level because they are only carrying as a burden. At a certain point, Dhamma will become a burden to them. So then they're going to argue with Dhamma with other people. I know better than. Because it is also an ignorance of their Dhamma knowledge. Right?
So Bhante, when this separation occurs, what is the remedy, Bhante? How do we make the knowledge into the heart so that we can know and practice it? What is the thing to do it?
Well, when the grief arises in us for whatever the reason, separation of the loved ones, maybe a breakup, maybe whatever things that turn to be a grief personally. There are other things involved other than the knowledge. Knowledge itself cannot heal. Maybe we need time to heal. Now, let's say you have a bad argument with somebody, with a very loud one. Just because you know that it was bad, and are you going to apologize to that person at the same time? Not many people do it. Maybe they take a day or two just to cool down and then get back to normal, and they understand, okay, what I did was really bad. Grab the phone and then, and then call that person, maybe send a message. I'm very sorry about that. I was out of mind at that point, I think time is a big factor to many people, but enlightened folks, very wise people, they apologize at the same time. They don't take time. They know what they did. Other people, they do it. They're very happy, but after some time, they feel very remorseful about what they did. Very regretful about what they did. All right, so let's get back to our lesson here. So Janto Pasato means that. Now, what we're going to do is here. Now, this is where the Buddha says, Nevatavaham bhikkhave sadevake loke samarake sam. Now, I did not claim this understanding, say Yatha Bhuta Jnana Dassana, in regard to the Four Noble Truths, to anybody. Who are those people? Sadevake, 6 heavens. Any deva in the 6 heavens, I haven't told them. Also, Maras, or any Brahmas. Who are those beings, Dhamma folks? Samarake, that means is there only one Mara or many Maras? There are many Maras. Where are the Maras living, Dhamma folks? Where are they living? You have no idea, right? Where the Maras are living. You thought there's only one Mara living. There are Maras living, plural. Where are they living?
In the heaven, Bhante. It is one.
There are 2
One level.
heavens where the Maras are living. Where are they? Last 2 highest. The last 2 highest heavens. Nimmanarati Paranimita Vasavati. Now, a lot of people just consider yourself if you want to go to the heaven. See, Maras are the highest. Huh? Are you planning to be a Mara? How many people are making wishes after that? May I be reborn in a heaven, this heaven, that heaven. See, the highest devas are Maras. Very dangerous. Huh? They are Maras. Buddha said, I have not. So the devas below the Maras are just devas. Chato Maharajika, Yama, Tavatinsa, Tusita. And Marati Paramita Vasavati are the Maras. Then above the Maras, who are they?
Brahma.
Brahmas. 16 Brahma worlds. Even the Sakha of Tavatinsa wishes to be reborn as a Brahma in the highest Brahma world. What is it? Akanitta. Sakha wants to be reborn in the Akanitta. He doesn't want to come back to Tavatinsa. Why is it? It is a pure abode. What is a pure abode?
Pure.
Anybody who follows Mahayana here, you know that in the Mahayana teachings, there's one very important teaching goes by pure land.
Pure land.
Pure land means
Amitabha Buddha.
Amitabha Buddha. They have 2 Buddhas. One Buddha is the Shakyamuni Buddha, to them the physical Buddha, human form. Other Buddha is living in the
Pure land.
pure land. It's called Amitabha Buddha. So they are chanting as many times as they can. Amitabha, Amitabha, Amitabha. So, but a lot of people don't know that we have also pure lands in Theravada. Have you ever heard that?
Never. Yes,
We have 5.
I don't know.
Listen,
5.
nobody knows that Theravada has a lot of pure lands. We don't have only one pure land. We have 5 pure lands.
Yeah.
The
Yes,
last 5 Brahma worlds are called pure lands.
Oh.
Highest pure land is Akani.
Yeah.
But we don't have a particular name. Huh? So you can't chant it like Amitabha, Amitabha. You don't have a particular name in there. Right? So the people who become Anagami here, in the human world, if they die without becoming Arahant, they're going to be reborn in one of those 5 pure lands, then attain Nibbana. All right, now the Buddha says, I have not declared this truth, that I knew the Four Noble Truths in regard to Ti-Parivatta and Dvadasakara with Jnana Dasana to any Deva, any Mara, any Brahma. Right? Then, Sassamanak Brahmaniya Pajaya Sadeva Manusaya, not even to them, but also all ascetics and other Brahmins. Anuttarang Samma Sambodhi, Abhisambhutupa. I did not claim my Samma Sambodhi to the unsurpassed perfect awakening in this world. I don't think we have time to give you some time for pronunciation, so I will cover up the rest. Yatocha komi bhikkhave imesu chatusu arya sakti. So same thing. Evang tiparivattang dvadasakaram yatha bhutang jnana. Now he says, I did not tell them, but now I tell you. I had the perfect purification in regard to the Four Noble Truths in terms of the yatha bhuta jnana dasa, which means jnana passato perspective of the Four Noble Truths. Athahang bhikkhave sadevake loke samarake sassamana brahmaniya pajaya. Same thing. Sadeva manusaya anuttarang samma sambodhi abhisambhutu panchanyasika. Now here's the important part. Jnanancha paname dasanang udapadi. Now here the Buddha says that he came to this jnana dasan visuddhi. Right? So we're gonna here. All right. So now he perfectly declares that I have come to the provision of the jnana and I would say dasana. It means I have come to the true knowledge, and then I have the perfect way of seeing everything, every phenomenon in this universe. Dasana, jnana dasana. And then he explains about that state of mind as akuppa me cheto vimutti. Now in Buddhism, there are 2 types of vimutti. Akuppa vimutti, cheto vimutti and panya. What does it mean? Now, Dhamma folks, till we attain Nibbana, we are trying to release our mind from the akusalas, right? This is our plan, right?
Yes.
Then what we are going to do is we are mounting our mind on the jhanas. Vitakka, vichara, piti, sukha, ekagata. Not go to the calm. We're going to mount our mind on vitakka, vichara, piti, sukha, ekagata. Then upekka, sati, akasana chayatana, akinchanyayatana, vinyana chayatana. These are higher jhanas. Then even before we attain Nibbana, we are mounting our mind on the Nibbana. But once you attain Nibbana, are we still trying to keep the mind as the object? No. We have to release us even from the mind. Because we have a mind, we are thinking, we are creating kusala and akusala. When you attain Nibbana, you have the cheto vimutti. You are released from your mind also. Now for those people who want to practice meditation, now think about it. One day you have to, it's not mindfulness. You have to even get rid of the mind, not even a practice of the mind. One day your plan is to release yourself from the mind also, because mind is what creates all these things. We are only talking about the bad stuff, even from the good things. That is Nibbana. Akuppami. So my cheto vimutti, that means my liberation of the mind, is unshakable. Nobody can change. Ayam antimaja, this is my last birth. Nattidani punambhava. There's no existence. Actually, this can be a little common to all of you, because of course you all know that when the Shakyamuni Buddha attained Buddhahood, he's not going to be reborn. But now he is telling this to 5 ascetics. They never know what this is all about. All right, so today what we discussed was how the Four Noble Truths were included in terms of the Ti-Parivatta and Dvadasakara. Thereby, Shakyamuni Buddha attained the Jnana Dasana level, highest level of his enlightenment. Actually, you can take Jnana Dasana even for Sotapannas. even for Sakadagamis, even for Anagamis, even for Arahants, even for Pacceka Buddha, even for Sammasam. They all come to the Jnana Darsana. So Jnana Darsana means knowing what should be done. Then Darsana means being able to do it within the real time moment. I think it's very important even for unenlightened beings like us, how you
But-
can do the practice.
Bhante, Dasana for the English translation, vision doesn't translate
It does,
with
it
correct
does
meaning.
not, it does
Yeah.
not carry. That's
Yeah,
why I
doesn't
am telling that
carry the meaning.
English translations that we know, majority of those translations almost all carry
Different
something
meaning.
different from what
Yeah.
we have to learn from Pali.
Yeah.
That is why it's important to learn the basics of the Pali language. But a lot of people don't know because they have no idea what this is all about, because they don't know even Pali. Sometimes they don't know even those English words, right? Because these English words are more difficult than Pali words at some point.
Because in
What is-
English, vision is looking into the future.
You go
In
see the
English,
optometric eye doctor, it's also vision care.
yeah.
Right. So that's why we have to have some knowledge about these
Yeah.
Pali terms and their bigger meaning. Today you knew it's about Janato and Passato metrics. That means Janato part is the Jnana, Passato part is the Dasana. So the enlightened version of the Janato Passato is Jnana Dasana. So for you, when you practice your Dhamma journey, bring in Janato, Passato aspects. So then you will be able to really grow in your practice. All right, any questions, Dhamma folks?
Bhante, where can we find this term Janato and Passato in the suttas?
Sabbasava Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya
Majjhima Nikaya number
2.
2. Okay.
I think it's 2. Let me
Okay.
check again, double check. Yes, it's 2.
Thank you,
Majjhima Nikaya 2.
Thank you.
It's very important, actually. Yeah, Dina, yeah, go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't get what you tell this, the highest 5 levels, then Buddha knew that one and didn't tell or something. That means it's not gochara for this lay people, or I didn't get what.
All right. So initially, Shakyamuni Sambuddha was reluctant to give Dhamma. I don't know, there is a historical conflict to me, because this is why he became the Buddha, why he doesn't know that he has to give the mission, right? But anyways, I think the story has a sort of a gap between how the vision was accomplished, why the mission was not done at the same time. And then there was another story. Sahampati Brahma came in and then gave a formal invitation. Bhante, do not be reluctant. There are many people who are struggling with their Logodosa Moha. Please start off your Dhamma journey. I would say mission of Dhamma. Then Buddha thought about his teachers. Alarakala, Muddakaram. They all passed away 1 month ago, a few weeks ago, something like that. Then they found out 5 ascetics. So the point that I made at that point is that he told 5 ascetics, Panchavagya Bhikkhu, that I have never told that I knew the Four Noble Truths in regard to the Tiparivatta and Dvadasankara. Thereby, I could come to the Jnana Darsana. I haven't told to anybody. No Deva knows, no Mara knows, no Brahma knows. I tell you for the first time. You are the first group of people that are receiving that message for the first time. So he's trying to say that, you are the first. It's like a monk is to say, nobody knows, I'm going to tell you this here. Surprise. Yes. So giving them the official first group of people.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes. Others?
Bhante, just now you mentioned that why you want to be born in heaven. Some people like to be born in Tusita heaven because the future Buddha is there. You can hear the Dhamma from the future Buddha. Does that make sense? Bhante?
Well, I mean, that is not the shortest way possible.
Okay.
Because that's like hitting a very dangerous target actually. So we have to hit the shortest possible practical target. I mean, I would say here, become a Sotapanna is the best thing.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about where you're going after this. Do
Correct.
we have any knowledge about where we came from? Any clue where you came from? If you go to India and you give your hand to somebody for a palm reading, they might say you were born in a Brahmin tribe somewhere in India, you were a very good person, but during some time you were not generous. That's why you like this. Everybody is having a hard time at some point of life. Oh, really? Yes, that's true. It was because you did not give a lot of dana by that time. So unless you go for these kind of things, I think we have no idea about the past. We don't need to either. So what we need to think is that rebirth keeps going on till we attain Nibbana. What we should aim for is in our life is to become a Sotapanna to the bare minimum level. In case you cannot become a Sotapanna, you will be reborn in a good place where you have everything. Don't ask me where. That place is undefined and we don't need to know it. Because let's say it is a good place, you have no problem. So why do we need to consider about it? Yeah.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes. Others?
Bante, somebody from Facebook asking about the meaning of Kanka. I think it's from the Visuddhi or the seventh purification. Kanka, Ti-Ratana,
Kanka,
Visuddhi.
Vitarana, Jnana, Dassana, Visuddhi. Okay. Now, as I told you, purification in Buddhism is not only about purifying your mind. That is a wrong perception. A lot of people think, okay, I meditate, I purify my mind from loka dosama. No, it is a bigger. Actually, it is the main purpose of the sila and all the practices. Because when you practice sila in the morning, then even by afternoon you can practice meditation. In the evening you can purify your thoughts, your vision. So Kanka Vitarana Jnana Darsana Visuddhi means that we may have doubts about our past. We may have doubts about us now. Who am I? Where I came from? Where I will be going now? For the future also. So at that point, after the Ditti Visuddhi, purify your views, you are able to get rid of your such doubts about yourself regarding the past, yourself regarding the present time, yourself about the future. I encourage you to read the same sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 2, Sabbasava Sutta. It clearly mentions about how people are getting stuck in the Kanka, doubts. And it will clearly show how to get rid of the Kanka, and then you getting into the Kanka Vitarana Jnana Darsana Visuddhi. It clearly shows in that sutta and Ratha Vininta Sutta as well.
Thank you,
Let's take,
Bante.
yeah, let's take one question, and we can wrap this up today. Now, if you thought that a simple meditation or a retreat only can help you to purify yourself, that's not going to work. It still needs, it's good to go for a retreat, it's good to do a meditation, because meditation part includes at the point of the second purification, Sila, Chitta, Visuddhi. But then there are 5 more Visuddhi to go. Can you purify your view in a sort of a meditation? No, you can't do that. Because your views are attached to your normal life. The way you do things, the way you talk. It has to be a lasting practice. Kanka Vitarana, then Magga, how to know the right path, wrong path, how to know your practice, and finally, knowing and seeing.
So the Dhammapada verse, avoid evil, do good, purify the mind. So it does not mean just purify the mind. That means it's more than the mind. The purification, right?
I think that particular advice is a summary of the Dhamma, but it does not clearly emphasize everything, that inclusive practice, right? It's like that we teach, maybe your parents tell you, boy, girl, don't do anything wrong, evil.
Okay,
But there are,
can we say that is just a snapshot?
well, I mean, it's initially it's good. Let's say now a mother, father telling their son and daughter, don't do any evil. But there are things that seem to be good, but they are evil, right? But they are, on the surface, they are evil, but they are good also. So does that idea get carried away with that kind of a sense? That means that we have to look at the Sabbapapa Sakarana, Kusala Supasampada, Sachitta Pariyodapana, and teaching in a broader way. It's just a small idea, do a good thing, don't do bad things. Sometimes people do bad things to do good to other people.
Yeah.
So where are we going to put such things into the practice of that teaching? That's a very general teaching. Don't do good, don't do bad, do good things, cultivate your mind. It's a very simple teaching, but it does not carry the fuller meaning. This Dhamma, fuller meaning of the Dhamma. But still good, huh? Not saying anything. Just telling, hey, don't do bad things, huh? Do good things, huh? Cultivate your mind. It's generally a good teaching, but the true teaching has a lot of things to say, especially the purification side.
But a lot of us Buddhists get stuck down there.
Because that's the only thing they hear from many others. I have no problem with that. Whenever somebody asks from anybody, Dhamma speaker or anybody, tell me Buddhism in short, Sabbapapa Sakarana, Kusala Supasampada, Sachitta Pariyodapana, all Buddha said so, that's it.
Yeah, everyone's
Does this carry everything? There's such a very humiliation to the teaching, actually. Yes. It's funny for somebody who knows the purifications.
Thank you, Bhante.
All right, any more questions? Do we have any questions, Aliana, on Facebook? I don't think so. Okay. All right, looks like no questions. So let's wrap this up then. So next Friday, I'm looking at the Friday. Second. Next Friday, I'm gonna be in Kota Baru. So I'm just looking at the schedule of the time. Right. All right. So yeah, there's no conflict with the timing. So yeah, all right. But I think what do you call other week, that means I guess give me a second. August 25th is August 25th Sunday.
Yes. No, it's Friday.
It's a Friday, yes. So that Friday, I was trying to give time for this discussion, but I could not get that. So that means we're gonna take that time off from the discussion, Aliana. So that means we can actually take that time off because there's a retreat I'm doing at that time in Pahang. So, but next week is fine. Next week it's totally fine. I have a retreat during the day, so at night too. But only we are taking time off for August 25th. So if you have plans, please feel free to plan that Friday, 25th.
You're not around also.
I'm sorry.
Monday.
We won't be around.
We will be in Sri Lanka.
You are in Sri Lanka.
Yes. I think the 25th. Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
Like
that's a good
Candy, I
time.
think.
So I
Kim
will
was-
miss Kali also, Bhante.
You could get the recording. Today, Kim
Okay.
was asking Bhante, how about good avocados in Sri Lanka?
Fine.
Sri Lanka should have some good avocados.
Really?
It's very cheap.
Should. Very cheap, right?
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Yes, yes. Look for
Is it
them.
true, brother Kevin? Do you get some?
Yeah, I eat it over there and never bring back.
All
Are they
right.
as the Australian ones?
I think similar. It's larger. It's larger and it's
Oh, the jumbo one, very expensive here, you know.
Yeah.
891 here.
Oh.
Okay. I hope that you will find it. Let's wrap this up.
Okay.
May all the good karmas that we've been accumulating be transferred to all the departed ones, passed away in the name of all of us. If they were reborn in a place of pain, may they be able to be reborn in a place of comfort, happiness. Finally, may the departed ones be well and happy and attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idammi nyati nangu sukita nyate. Idammi nyati nangu sukita nyate. Idammi nyati nangu sukita nyate. May Deva, Naga, Mahitika be well and happy. May they share all these good karmas. May they also protect and bless all of us for good health, quality of life, prosperity, and safety. May they also attain the Nibbana at the end. Sadhu, sadhu. Ittavatacha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabbasang patti siddhya. Ittavatacha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabbasang patti siddhya. Ittavatacha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabbasang patti siddhya. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahittika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu lokasasanang. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahittika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu desanang. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahittika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu mang paranti. Chirang rakkhantu mang sada. May we be in the company of the Kalyanamitas, not with the Bhagavatas, till we attain the Nibbana. Imina punya kammene mami bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yavanibbana pattiya. Finally, may all the good karmas which we've been accumulating in today's section, today's Sutta discussion, we support you and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana silissa niccang vaddha pachayino chattaru dhamma vaddhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarukya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminati saminjatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And one more thing, it's still unofficial. Brother Lim, are we going to publish the retreat information soon, or we're taking time?
Yeah, we already put in our Vihara group already.
Okay. So then I can say that today. So I'm going to do one retreat at your temple, Vihara, local Vihara, Ti-Ratana Ti-Ratana Vihara clan on September 2nd. It's a non-stay day, what do you call it? 1 day non-stay mindfulness retreat. It's going to be from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. The reason why I thought was that I'm doing a lot of retreats in other viharas, but if I could not do something for the devotees over there, that's with your president. And then this is how we came up with it. So if you are interested, you could definitely enroll, register. It's not a hard and fast thing if you are busy, okay, if you have other things. But if you really want, you could join the retreat on September 2nd.
What day is it?
September 2nd is I would say it's a Saturday. See? Yeah,
Saturday,
it's a
sister.
Saturday.
Yes, it's a Saturday.
Yeah, it's a Saturday. Yeah.
So it's first come, first serve.
Yeah, we'll see the response, because at Mahavihara we got 103 people for my Sunday retreat here. So we can accommodate more people after that because of the meditation space. We will see how things work. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
To
Do not
be
wait.
there.
If you want to be there, do not wait. Yes. We don't know. Yes. All right. So have a very good night. And
Okay, good night.
when are you going to Sri Lanka, Kema? August 15th.